In your presence, I find strength through this pain tonight. In your presence, bring your light to comfort me when everything inside me hurts. In your presence, what's worse is bearable when I'm close to you right here. In your presence, I find strength through this pain, my refuge. In your presence, subterfuge is impossible. I come honestly in my brokenness. In your presence, confess I do that. I need you more than ever now. I'm hurting, but I'm here worshiping anyway tonight. I'm broken, but I haven't given up on you here. In your presence I fear nothing, because you're holding me through this pain. Strength through pain, remain. I do in your presence, even when it hurts to be here. Strength in suffering, in your presence I find strength through pain. Strength in suffering, once again I'm discovering that nearness to you sustains me. In your presence, through this pain, set me free from despair, even though the pain hasn't gone away. Strength in suffering, I pray, with faith that believes your presence is enough for me. In your presence, I find strength through this pain, your nearness. In your presence, your dearness to me is proven when you hold me in my suffering. In your presence, I'm bringing all my pain to the only one who understands it. In your presence, I find strength through this pain tonight, Lord. In your presence, your word says you're close to the brokenhearted and crushed in spirit. In your presence, I hear it, your voice speaking comfort over my deepest pain. The pain is real, but your presence is more real than the pain. Oh, the hurt is deep, but your nearness is deeper than the hurt. In your presence you exert healing power, even when symptoms haven't changed yet. Strength through pain, I've met you in my suffering and found you faithful here. Strength in suffering, in your presence, I find strength through pain. Strength in suffering, oh, once again I'm discovering that nearness to you sustains me. In your presence, through this pain, set me free from despair, even though the pain hasn't gone away. Strength in suffering, I pray, with faith that believes your presence is enough for me. I didn't come to you because the pain has stopped tonight. I came to you because your presence helps me bear the pain. In your presence, I worship even when everything in me hurts to do so. This isn't denial of how much I'm hurting here. This isn't pretending that everything's okay when it's not. In your presence I've got honest faith that says I'm in pain, but you're still good. Straight through pain, understood is my suffering by the one who suffered for me. I'm learning that your presence doesn't always remove pain, but your presence always provides strength to endure pain. In your presence I gain capacity to bear what would crush me without you. Strength through pain. It's true that nearness to you is my strength through suffering. When I'm too weak to even worship properly tonight, when pain has stolen my ability to form coherent prayers, in your presence, you're there, holding me when I cannot hold myself together. Straight through pain, whether I can articulate it or not, you understand me through the pain. I worship you. In your presence, you pull me through. Through the pain, I need you now. In your presence, show me how. Show me how. Strength in suffering. In your presence, I find strength through this pain. Find through pain. Through the pain, I need you now. In your presence, I find strength through this pain tonight. In your presence, bring your light to comfort me when everything inside me hurts. In your presence, what's worse is bearable when I'm close to you right here. In your presence, I find strength through this pain, my refuge. In your presence, subterfuge, even in the valley, is impassable. You are with come on, I'm not alone in my brokenness. Even in the valley, I've known your presence in the darkest places of my life. Even in the valley, there's strife. Even in the valley, you are with me, walking through. Even in the valley, it's true that you haven't left me in my deepest pain. Even in the valley, remain. You do with me through every dark moment here. This valley is dark, but I am not walking alone tonight. This valley is deep, but you are here with me now. Even in the valley, somehow your presence turns darkness into bearable shadow. You are with me, I follow. You're leading even when I cannot see the way clearly. Not alone. Even in the valley, you are with me. Not alone. I'm free from fear of abandonment in my darkest hour. Even in the valley, your power is demonstrated through presence, not just deliverance. Not alone, magnificence of your nearness sustains me through the valley, Lord. Even in the valley, you are with me, shepherd's care. Even in the valley, you're there, guiding me through paths I would not choose myself. Even in the valley, my health is found in your presence, more than in circumstances. Even in the valley, you are with me, rod and staff. Even in the valley, I laugh, not because I'm happy, but because I'm not forsaken. Even in the valley, shaken, I may be, but not abandoned by my shepherd here. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me in this valley. Your presence provides what deliverance hasn't yet given. Even in the valley, I'm driven closer to you than I would be on the mountain top. You are with me, don't stop. Walking beside me through this valley I'm traversing. Not alone, even in the valley, you are with me. Not alone. I am free from fear of abandonment in my darkest hour. Even in the valley, your power is demonstrated through presence, not just deliverance. Not alone, magnificent of your nearness sustains me through the valley low. Even though I walk through the valley of death's shadow, I will fear no evil, for you are with me tonight. Even in the valley, bring light, not necessarily out of the valley, but through it. You are with me, I do it. This walk through darkness, because you're walking with me. I may be in the valley, but I'm not walking alone here. I may be in the shadow, but you're the light beside me. Even in the valley, guide me through what I cannot navigate in my own strength. You are with me. Any length of valley becomes bearable when you're walking with me. Not alone. In the valley, you are here. Don't dally. Not alone. Through the shadow, you are with me. Where I go, not alone. Even in the valley, you are with me. Not alone. I'm free from fear of abandonment in my darkest hour. Even in the valley, your power is demonstrated through presence, not just deliverance. Not alone, magnificence of your nearness sustains me through the valley low. Through the valley, not alone. In the shadow, you've shone. Through the valley, you are here. In your presence, no fear. Even in the valley, you are with me. Oh, I worship you. Even when it hurts to lift my hands, I worship you. Your plans are trustworthy. Even when I don't understand them, I worship you. Amen. I say through tears and pain and brokenness tonight, I worship you. Even when it hurts, sacrificial praise, I worship you. My days of pain don't disqualify my worship of you. I worship you. It's true that worship from a broken heart is precious to you. This worship isn't easy when everything in me hurts. This praise cost me something I wouldn't give if I felt better. I worship you, no letter perfect explains the worship rising from my pain. Even when it hurts, remain. I do in worship posture despite what I'm feeling. Costly worship, I worship you even when it hurts. Costly worship, what's worse is giving up on worship because I'm in pain. I worship you even when it hurts. Sustain my faith through sacrifice of praise that cost me. Costly worship set me free to worship you, regardless of how I'm feeling. You. Even when it hurts, Job's declaration, I worship you. Foundation of my worship isn't my comfort, but your character. I worship you. Transfer my focus from my pain to your faithfulness here. Even when it hurts, broken offering, I worship you. I'm bringing the only worship I have to give in this condition. I worship you. Your mission receives my worship even when it's mixed with tears. I don't worship because I feel like it tonight. I worship because you're worthy even when I'm hurting. I worship you, asserting my faith that says you deserve praise in every season. Even when it hurts, the reason I worship is your worthiness, not my circumstances. Costly worship, I worship you even when it hurts. Costly worship, what's worse is giving up on worship because I'm in pain. I worship you even when it hurts. Sustain my faith through sacrifice of praise that cost me. Costly worship set me free to worship you, regardless of how I'm feeling. This worship is my sacrifice of praise tonight, Lord. When I have nothing else to offer you, I offer this. I worship you. Your kiss of comfort meets my worship, even when it's broken. Even when it hurts, you've spoken. Acceptance over worship that comes from a hurting heart. I'm worshiping you, not because pain has ended here. I'm worshiping you because you're worthy in my pain. I worship you. I gain nothing from this worship except nearness to you. Even when it hurts, it's true that worship connects me to you and nothing else can make. Say worship is the pathway from pain to up on worship because I'm in pain. I worship you even when it hurts. Sustain my faith through sacrifice of praise that cost me. Costly worship set me free to worship you, regardless of how I'm feeling. I worship you through the pain, even when it hurts. Again, I worship you, tears and all, even when it hurts. I call your name in worship here, though it costs. I draw near. I worship you even when it hurts. Again, I worship you even when it hurts to lift my hands. I worship you, your plans are trustworthy even when I don't understand them. I worship you, amen. Your presence is my tears and pain and brokenness tonight. Even when symptoms remain, even when it hurts, sacrificial praise. Your presence is my healing. Explain. I cannot hide nearness to you. Brings wholeness here. Your presence is my healing, drawing near. Your presence is my healing, not just physical cure. Your presence is my healing. I'm sure that soul healing happens in your presence first. Oh, your presence is my healing. Immersed in your nearness, I find wholeness I can't find elsewhere. Healing presence, your presence is my healing tonight. Healing presence, bring light that restores what's been broken in body and soul. Your presence is my healing. Make me whole, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually. Healing presence, I'm free. When your presence brings healing to every part of me. Healing isn't always instant deliverance from symptoms. Sometimes healing is strength to endure what hasn't changed. Your presence is my healing, rearranged is my definition of healing, to include your nearness. Healing presence, your dearness to me is the healing my soul needs most tonight. Healing presence, your presence is my healing tonight. Healing presence, my healing. Your presence restoring me. Your nearness, faith that chooses worship in the fire. Shadrach's song. Faith that chooses worship in the fire. All along I've declared that I'll worship you no matter what. Faith that chooses worship in the fire. My lot. Faith that chooses worship in the fire. Even if not, faith that chooses worship in the fire. I've got resolve to worship you, even if you don't deliver. Faith that chooses worship in the fire. I shiver, not from fear, but from the audacity of my faith. Unconditional worship. Faith that chooses worship in fire. Unconditional worship. Higher is my worship when it's not contingent on deliverance. Faith that chooses worship in the fire. My penance is to worship you, whether you rescue me or not tonight. Unconditional worship. Bring light that shows worship isn't conditional on answered prayer. Even if you don't deliver me, I will still worship you. Even if the fire isn't quenched, I will still praise your name. Faith that chooses worship in the fire. I came to worship not because you delivered, but because you're worthy. Unconditional worship. My earthly circumstances don't determine my heavenly worship tonight. Oh, unconditional worship. Faith that chooses worship in fire. Unconditional worship. Is my worship when it's not contingent on deliverance. Oh, faith that chooses worship in the fire. In the fire, I worship. Unconditional, my hardship. When pain drives me to my knees, I find you there. When pain drives me to my knees, I find you there waiting. When pain drives me to my knees, creating is what you do with the brokenness that brings me low. When pain drives me to my knees, I know. When pain drives me to my knees, I find you there, mercy seat. When pain drives me to my knees, I meet you in the place where pain has brought me down. When pain drives me to my knees, renowned meeting place. When pain drives me to my knees, you're there, meeting place. You care enough to meet me in the place. Pain brings me to. When pain drives me to my knees, it's true that sometimes pain is what it takes to bring me close. Meeting place, verbose. I cannot be about how grateful I am. Pain brought me here. I wouldn't have come this slow if pain hadn't driven me. I wouldn't have sought your face if comfort hadn't failed. When pain drives me to my knees, unveiled is your presence that was always there. But now I see it, meeting place. I need it, this encounter that pain has orchestrated for me. Meeting place. When pain drives me to my knees, you're there. Meeting place. You care enough to meet me in the place. Pain brings me to. When pain drives me to my knees. On my knees I find you. Hey. Pain brought me to bind you. Broken but not abandoned, by the God who sees me, broken but not abandoned. Set me free from fear that brokenness means I'm alone here, broken but not abandoned. Drawing near, broken but not abandoned, shattered yet held, broken but not abandoned, compelled. Am I to worship the God who stays close to the broken, broken but not abandoned? You've spoken, still held, broken but not abandoned here tonight. Still held, bring light that shows your presence in my brokenness now. Broken but not abandoned. I vow to trust that brokenness doesn't mean abandonment. Still held, magnificent is your nearness to those who are crushed in spirit. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted tonight. He saves those who are crushed in spirit here. Broken but not abandoned, I fear nothing, because the broken are the ones you're nearest to. Still held, it's true that brokenness actually draws your presence close. Still held, broken but not abandoned here tonight. Still held, bring light that shows your presence in my brokenness now. Broken but not abandoned. Broken yet held, shattered, not expelled. My tears are worship too, not just my songs of praise. My tears are worship too. My days of crying count as worship, offer to you. My tears are worship too. It's true. My tears are worship too. Liquid prayers ascending. My tears are worship too. Sending fade. Count it as worship. My tears are worship too. Tonight, count it as worship. Bring light that shows you value tears as much as songs here. My tears are worship too. It's clear that worship isn't only when I'm singing praise. Count it as worship. My days of weeping are acceptable offerings to you. You keep track of all my sorrows in your bottle. You record each tear in your book tonight, oh Lord. My tears are worship to your word. Says you collect my tears like precious offerings. Count it as worship. My bringing of tears to you is worship you receive from me. Count it as worship. My tears are worship too. Tonight, count it as worship. Bring light that shows you value tears as much as songs here. My tears are worship too. Tears is worship, acceptable. Crying counts, respectable. I trust you in the darkness when I cannot see the way. I trust you in the darkness. I pray with faith that doesn't depend on visibility here. I trust you in the darkness, drawing near. I trust you in the darkness, blind faith walking. I trust you in the darkness, talking myself into trusting what I cannot see tonight. I trust you in the darkness, bring light, not necessarily to the path, but to my heart that trusts, trusting blindly. I trust you in the darkness here, trusting blindly. It's clear that faith is trusting you when I cannot see ahead. I trust you in the darkness. you see, even when I cannot see. Trusting blindly, I'm free to trust your vision when mine has failed completely. Trusting blindly, I trust you in the darkness here. Trusting blindly, it's clear that faith is trusting you when I cannot see ahead. I trust you in the darkness. In darkness, trusting still, cannot see, but I will. Your nearness is my good, not my circumstances. Your nearness is my good, my chances of thriving increase when I'm close to you here. Your nearness is my good, drawing near. Your nearness is my good, proximity to you. Your nearness is my good, it's true. That nearness to you is better than any blessing. Your nearness is my good, confessing, better than blessings. Your nearness is my good tonight, better than blessings. Bring light that shows proximity to you, surpasses all gifts. Your nearness is my good, it lifts my spirit more than any answer prayer could do. Better than blessings, it's true. That nearness to you is the blessing I need most. It is good for me to be near to God tonight, Lord. Whom have I in heaven but you? There's none on earth. Your nearness is my good. My worth is found in being close to you more than anything. Better than blessings I sing of the goodness of nearness to you above all else. Oh, better than blessings. Your nearness is my good tonight. Oh, better than blessings. Bring light that shows proximity to you. me closer to you than comfort ever did. Pain brought me closer to you. Your grip of grace catches those who fall into suffering here. Pain brought me closer to you, drawing near. Pain brought me closer to you, strange gifted spin. Pain brought me closer to you within. The suffering I found intimacy I'd never known. Pain brought me closer to you. I've grown, unlikely blessing. Pain brought me closer to you, unlikely blessing. It's true. The suffering accomplished what prosperity couldn't do. Pain brought me closer to you. I knew you in my comfort, but I know you deeply in my pain. Unlikely blessing I've gained. Intimacy through suffering I wouldn't trade for comfort. I wouldn't have sought you this desperately if I hadn't hurt. I wouldn't have needed you this deeply if I'd been okay. Pain brought me closer to you. I pray that I never lose this nearness, even when pain is. Unlikely blessing, my friends say they envy the closeness that my pain has produced. Unlikely blessing, pain brought me closer to you. Unlikely blessing, it's true. That suffering accomplished what prosperity couldn't do. Pain brought me closer to you. I knew pain brought nearness to you. Suffering's gift broke through. I found you in my pain. In your presence I survived. I found you in my pain. I'm alive because your presence sustained me through suffering. I found you. I'm bringing testimony that your presence is enough for pain. I found you in my pain. In your presence I was held. I found you in my pain, compelled. Am I to thank you for presence that carried me through? I found you, it's true, that your nearness was my strength when I had none left. Presence sustained you're close to me. In your presence, through this pain I'm free. Not because pain ended, but because you were near. Presence sustaining me. It's clear that your presence is my strength through suffering. Looking back, I see your presence in my darkest hour. Looking back, I recognize that I was never alone. In your presence, you've shown yourself faithful even when I couldn't see you there. Presence sustained me. Your care was constant even when I felt abandoned by you. The pain was real, but your presence was more real. The suffering was deep, but your nearness was deeper. In your presence, my keeper was closer than I knew. In my moments of despair, presence sustained me. You're there, even when I cannot feel or see your presence here. I've learned that worship through pain is possible. I've discovered that faith in suffering is sustainable. In your presence I'm able to endure what would have destroyed me without you. Presence sustain me. It's true that nearness to you is my strength through anything. Some people ask me how I survived what I went through. I tell them it wasn't my strength, but your presence. In your presence, your essence sustained me when my own resources were depleted. Presence sustained me. Completed was my endurance by your presence, not my power. I was with you in every painful moment. I was there when you thought you were alone. I was holding you when you felt abandoned. My presence never left you. When you couldn't feel me, I was still there. When you couldn't see me, I was still near. When you doubted my presence, I was still close. I never left your side. Your pain didn't drive me away from you. Your suffering didn't cause me to abandon you. Your brokenness didn't make me love you less. I drew closer when you were hurting. I collected every tear you cried. I heard every prayer you couldn't articulate. I saw every moment you wanted to give up. I sustained you through it all. In your presence, found strength. In my presence, you discovered hope. In my presence, you learned faith. My presence was your sustaining power. Continue to seek my presence in pain. Continue to worship through suffering. Continue to trust when you cannot see. My presence will always sustain you. I am the God who is present in pain. I am the Father who holds the broken. I am the healer who comforts the hurting. I am here with you always. In your presence, I find strength through the pain and elate. In your presence, I survive through the pain. I'm alive. Presence sustain me. In your presence, I found strength. In your presence, presence sustain me. Any length of suffering is bearable when you're close to me. In your presence, through this pain I'm free. Not because pain ended, but because you were near. Presence sustained me. It's clear that your presence is my strength through suffering. Thank you for your presence. through every painful moment. Thank you for sustaining me when I was broken. Thank you for nearness, that was my only strength. In your presence, through this pain, any length, I survived because you were near. I made it because you were here. I endured your presence, my power in your presence every hour. Not alone in my pain, you were there once again. Not abandoned in the fire, in your presence you're my desire. Through the valley, you were close. In the darkness, you were host. Through my tears, you were